Hello and welcome back. So in here we want to do the login page since we are done with the sign up. So the process is pretty much the same. I'll simply just change a few things. This is in the, let me close all files so we start afresh. So if I go, let me close all this. So if I go to the basic Auth plugin and I'm going to the login page, I just want to change this to danger. I think the red, I prefer the red a bit more. So everything is good over here in the view file. What we forgot to actually deal with in the sign up page is the CSRF. So let me go to sign up there. Okay, so if we go in here, for example, once we validate everything, I think the most important is to validate the CSRF. So let's put some errors here. The CSRF function verify returns true or false. So what I can do is do this. I'm figuring out how to, because we need to send a message there. So what I'll do is say this. We're going to say CSRF verify. So we put an and there so that if this is false, we don't even bother with that. It just comes down to this. And then I'll grab this one here. Then I'm going to say if. I'll put another if statement to check for the same. If not, let's say user errors. So in this section here, I'll choose something that I know is already on there, a key that I know, like for example first name, email, and so on. So let's just use email because it's common there, and we're going to say is equal to, so we're just adding an error and say please refresh this form. Actually, by then the form would have been refreshed. So to avoid the user thinking they submitted but things didn't go well, we'll give them the message still. Please refresh, form expired. Maybe let's do that. Okay, something like that. Just simple and straightforward. Form expired. Please refresh. Something like that. Okay, so form expired. Please refresh. That way the errors are taken along with this when we are sent there. All right. So with all of this here, I'm going to copy everything here and put it in the login controller because most of it is pretty much the same. So first of all, we verify that. Now, instead of putting these inside the errors and stuff, we're just going to send a message instead, like that, because here we can deal with one error at a time. Form expired, please refresh. We don't need this set value here at all. In fact, let's do this. If the validation didn't work, let me copy this, let me put that there. The only message we should be sending here, there are no variables, so let's just use single quotes. The only message the user should get is email or password, wrong email or password, like that. Okay, it doesn't matter which of the two went wrong, that's the only message they should get. And they should get that message for as long as they do not redirect. So maybe we can just forget about the else statement here. Let's see. We'll leave it there. Okay, since we are not saving anything here, we can just grab post data. So if we don't also need to verify the code here. So what I'll do is remove this. Okay, so now we know this only comes here. Form expired. Okay, so let's move this guy away from here. And let's remove this. Because now we know this only happens when the form expires. Okay, so great. Sign up complete. So we don't need that either. And instead of login, we will need to go to our home page. So home, I think, will always be home. So we don't need to change that. We don't need a variable there. All right, so we verify that. We grab our post data. Now I just want to find a row using the first that matches the email. So I'm going to say email and then post data email, like that. So let's find that row. So if row is found, otherwise we'll have wrong email or password and we do not redirect. So I'm just going to go like this. Okay, so if the row was correct, now let's verify the password. So here I'm going to say again, if password verify. So we verify the password. The password is whatever the user has sent us. So we'll say password. And the hash is the one that is in the row, the one that was saved. So here we'll say password. So yeah, if that is true, then we're going to redirect to home. But then we need to authenticate the user as well. So here I'm just going to say session. We need the session here. Core session. So copy there. And then let's do session auth and put that row there. I think this is how we did it. Let me go to app models and session. That's where the function is, and there it is, auth. Okay, good. So session auth and then redirect to home. All right, that is great. Now you can redirect, of course, to any page that you want. I think that actually does it. So let's try and sign up. So I'll just try without doing anything. I'll just click that and let's see. So it says too few arguments on function. So to verify this thing here, we actually need the post request. I'm gonna put that there like so. That post data, we do need that. So let's do the same thing in the sign up part. We need this part here. So let's make sure that is sent as well. Let's refresh. Good. Form expired, please refresh. Okay, try again. So it keeps telling me that, which might not be true. CSL verify. Okay, let's go to the, let's find this function and see what could be the issue. Maybe it pops this thing out. So every time we check, it actually deletes, so we can't do this twice. Okay, so what I'm going to do is say CSRF is equal to, that way we can test for this guy instead of repeating ourselves here. So I'll put that there like so. Okay, so let's try this again. It still does that. What is going on? Let me do this. Let me refresh. Okay, so that can't be right. Okay, let's fix it. Let me go to functions. Let's see what's happening. New core. Data. Okay, so at this point, I just want to see what's inside all these items. So let me come back. Hey, what's happening? Okay, let me put die so it doesn't refresh. So it doesn't even go in there, right? Okay, so if empty session key okay, let's do this. Let's see what we're getting from there. Okay, so we get email and password. Okay, so that's why it's like that. Okay. We are not actually getting the information we need. So let me come back to basic auth. I'm looking for the view files, login. So we do have the CSRF, but why does it not post together with everything else? Let me inspect. In fact, let me just view the page source. I want to see where the form starts, and there it is. So the thing isn't being it's not being loaded, which is weird. Let's see in here. So we get the same thing there. Nothing is being loaded. Okay, so I guess that's where the problem is. Okay, so I see the problem I made. Here we are supposed to echo this, so I'll put an equal sign like so, and go to my sign up view as well and put an equal sign there. So don't make my mistake there. It should be echoed because it just returns a value. So let's go back to the login here and let me press enter. At least now we get the correct thing, wrong email or password. So I'm going to try to log in with email2 at email.com and then put just P for the password. So it didn't work. Let's try the entire password. It doesn't work still. Okay, so now it worked. So the password was wrong. Okay, so now there we are. Everything seems to be working as intended. But I want to show that I have actually logged in. So in this case, on the header over here, I need to show something extra. So what I'm going to do is go to my plugin for the basic Auth plugin. And you see here where we're creating menu pages, I can simply add one more. So I'm going to do this, duplicate that and add one more. This one, the title will just be hi with a comma, like that, because I want to put my user name. So I'll concatenate the current user's name. Now in this case, we're adding a filter, but let's instantiate a session class and core session, like that. Okay, so I'm going to grab this and I want to see whatever user is logged in. I want to grab user and say I want their first name, like that. And this should probably lead us to the user's profile, like this. So the /profile, and sometimes depending on the profile, maybe you may put an ID there. So we can say / and then the user's ID, which could be in form of this, say ID, like so. If you know that there's an ID column there, this one should show when the user is logged in, like that. But it doesn't matter here, because what we will do is we're just going to search and say wait. Yeah, this is the key access, right? Now if the user is not logged in, this will return empty, I guess, so which doesn't matter. Okay, so there's a permission there, right? So what we will do is in the header, we want that to be automatic. So let's go to the header footer page plugin. We go to the header. This is the part that shows the link, right? So here we will put an if statement. We'll say PHP if user can, and then let's put whatever permission is there, like so, and then close that. Then you can do end if, like so. Okay, so if user can, we make sure that permission allows, and then we show it. So now I'm going to refresh and define property permission on line 16. Okay, so some, I guess, do not have permission. So there's permission here, but let's go to the same header footer plugin. It creates its own here, but there's missing permission there, right? First of all, there's a missing icon and there's missing permission, like so. So boom, home should show every time. So let's just leave it at empty like that. And now if I refresh, there you see we get home and then we say hi, but then some other stuff is missing. If you notice the login and sign up, because their permission is for not logged in, right? That's what it is. So that's what we get, home, hi, and page not found, home. But what about the logout page? So let's go back to the same sign up controller. No, not the sign up controller, the plugin for basic Auth, that's plugin PHP. So the same way we've created this, let's create another page called Logout. Okay, so in here we have Logout, and it goes to the Logout page, and this one is for when you are logged in, like that. All right, so if I now refresh, we get that logout, so that I can log out if I want to. So if I click logout, 404 because it's not found. Now, because logout is part of authentication, let's make sure that it works. And that is going to be here, the logout controller. So in controllers, I'll say new file, put some PHP tags and save and say logout-controller.php. In here, all we do is say session auth, right? You know, what would be good is, since we are using session in the, we did use session in here, I can just remove this and I want to put it in the plugin.php instead. Right here where we create the request, let's create that as well so that it's always available to whatever controller we put it on. So let's put another else if here, like this. So another else if here, and this time we say logout page, which will change this to logout controller, and let's make sure we add it here as well. Now, forgot password or forgot page, we can leave that there, but we will use another plugin to make the forgot password part so that you can remove it if you don't want it there. So let's put logout there, add logout page. Okay, so logout page goes to logout controller, and in here all we have to do is say session logout. As simple as that, and then we redirect to the login page. Now, of course, the login page needs to be a variable, as you might have guessed already from vars. Alrighty then, so let's try that logout process. So click logout. It doesn't work. Okay. Why does it not work? Page is equal to logout page, controller logout controller. Okay, so let's just make sure it gets to this logout controller. Let's just die over here, so it doesn't get there. Okay, so I'm gonna cut this. Let's go back to the plugin page. If else, if else, if. How about here? Do we get to here? Yeah, we do. So it doesn't seem to just go here. Logout controller, logout page. Okay, it should actually work. Let me remove this else. Maybe the else just works once. Who knows? No, I guess that's not where the problem is. Where is the problem? Let me just put die over here. Let's see if it actually accepts that part. No, it does not. Right. It ends up loading the 404 page. That's why. Okay, so let's try and say here and then do die like that. Okay, let's try that. Okay, so it doesn't go there either. Okay, so at this point, let's do page. Let's see what it says. Because, oh, I see what the issue is. Sorry about that for going on and on that one. Sometimes it can be hard to see the issue, but I've seen it. It's because this is a GET request, so we don't need that posted thingy. Let me remove that, and that is why it wasn't actually going there. Okay, so logout controller, everything should work now. This is a GET request, so logged out. So as you can see now, as we logged out, there's login and sign up, which I can click from there, home, and then login. If I happen to log in, put a password there, log in. Now I'm logged in as admin, as you can see there. So there's no profile page, but you can see what's happening, and then I can actually log out like that. So this actually marks the end of our plugin. Our plugin is complete. It does exactly what we want it to do. Let's see what happens when we remove the plugin entirely. So I'm going to close all files and then go to the basic Auth. I want the config file here. Where is that? So the config file here, I can say false to make sure it does not load, and then I can refresh the page, and now you see I don't get any errors on my page. I can just remove that and I'm back to my basic framework as it was before I started adding anything new. And then if I want to add authentication, all I need to do is copy that folder and paste it in there, make sure the plugin is active, and then I get all the features now for sign up and login, as you can see here. All right, one more thing I want to change is just the height of this thing. Let me go to login.php. I thought it had a minimum height. Okay, so there's height 100 VH there. Let me try and remove that for a second. Let's see what happens. Yeah, I think it's pretty better that way, like so. Okay, so that's on the login. Let's do the same on the sign up. Let's remove that 100 VH like that. Sign up. Alrighty then. Alright guys, so that does it for the login and sign up. We are good now. And on every page that you want to redirect the user, where you feel like the user should be logged in before they view the page, all you have to do is create a session class and then ask is logged in like this. Okay, so you just put an if statement like saying if not is logged in like that, and then redirect the user to the login page like that. So you can put this above any page that you want to verify if the user is logged in or not, and then kick them out. But if you want to know specific permissions, you have to use the user can function, and we will use more of that, as you will see, because next we will create a user management plugin where we manage users and give them roles and all that. We'll add that as a separate plugin, but also because that plugin runs in the admin section, we will need to create an admin plugin as well. Alright guys, so hopefully you have learned something new here, and I will see you in the next tutorial.